Hey y'all, good evening. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the channel. So welcome to WatchWoman Wednesday. And I just want to read some scriptures to you this Wednesday. We're heading into Easter. I love this time of the season where it begins to get warm outside, all of that good stuff. So I'm going to be reading from Matthew chapter 27, and I'm going to start at verse 15, and I'm going to read a couple of scriptures. I'm going to read some scriptures on down. I'm going to be reading from my tablet this time, not necessarily from my physical Bible, and I'm reading from New King James Version. So it says, "Now at the feast, the governor was accustomed to releasing to the multitude one prisoner whom they wished. And at that time, they had a notorious prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they had gathered together, Pilate said to them, 'Whom do you want me to release to you, Barabbas or Jesus, who is called Christ?' For he knew that they had handed him over because of envy. While he was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent to him, saying, 'Have nothing to do with this man, for I have suffered many things today in a dream because of him.' But the chief priests and elders persuade the multitudes that they should ask for Barabbas and destroy Jesus. The governor answered and said to them, 'Which of the two do you want me to release to you?' They said, 'Barabbas.' And Pilate said to them, 'What then shall I do with Jesus, who is called Christ?' They all said to him, 'Let him be crucified.' Then the governor said, 'Why? What evil has he done?' But they cried out all the more, saying, 'Let him be crucified.' When Pilate saw that he could not prevail at all, but rather that a tumult was rising, he took water, washed his hands before the multitude, saying, 'I am innocent of the blood of this just person. You see to it.' And all the people answered and said, 'His blood be on us and on our children.' Then he released Barabbas to them. And when he had scourged Jesus, he delivered him to be crucified. Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the praetorium and gathered the whole garrison around him. And they stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him. When they had twisted a crown of thorns, they put it on his head and read in his right hand, and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, 'Hail, King of the Jews.' Then they spat on him and took the reed and struck him on his head. And when they had mocked him, they took the robe off him, put his own clothes on him, and led him away to be crucified. Now as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross. And when they had come to a place called Golgotha, that is to say, place of a skull, they gave him sour wine mingled with gall to drink. But when he had tasted it, he would not drink. Then they crucified him and divided his garments, casting lots. and it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet. They divided my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. Sitting down, they kept watch over him there, and they put up over his head the accusation written against him: "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." Then 2 robbers were crucified with him, one on the right, another on the left. And those who passed by blasphemed him, wagging their heads, saying, "You who destroyed the temple and built it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." Likewise, the chief priests also, mocking with the scribes and elders, said, "He saved others. Himself he cannot save. If he is King of the Jews, let him now come down from the cross, and we will believe him. He trusted in God. Let him deliver him now, if he will have him. For he said, 'I am the Son of God.'" Even the robbers who were crucified with him reviled him with the same thing. Now from the 6th hour until the 9th hour, there was darkness over all the land. And about the 9th hour, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani?" That is, my God, why have you forsaken me?" All of this was done before he gave up his spirit. And all of it was done to save a lost soul like me and like you. He did all of this. And I read this scripture because around this time, around Easter, you see people, they want to go to church, especially in their Sunday best. They want to spend money on it. And sometimes they want to spend a lot of money. And they want to bring out their best fashion. They want to look the part. I mean, they look good on the outside and dirty on the inside. And the only thing that is important is that everything that Jesus did to save your dying soul from hell, that is the most crucial thing that is coming up this Sunday. I don't care what you got on. I don't care how much you paid for it. I don't care how much money you put in that offering when it comes around. Nothing else matters other than what Jesus did in these verses right here. That is the only thing that matters. That is the only thing I want you to remember when you go to anybody's service on this Sunday. I don't care what you look like. I don't care if you got on a miniskirt. I don't care if you got on a hitched up dress. I don't care if you don't have on no pantyhose. I don't care if you got on jeans. I don't care if you got on a fat gold chain. I don't care if you just took your clothes out of the washing machine, forgot to iron them. I could care less. What matters to me when you go in that service this Sunday is that your soul is saved, is that you realize that these scriptures are real and that it matters. Nothing else matters. Absolutely nothing else. What comes from that pulpit, if it doesn't relate to your soul being saved, nothing else matters. It's not a fashion show this Sunday. It's not a fashion show any Sunday, but especially this Sunday. And that is all I want you to remember. That's it. That's all I have to say. Go back, read the word, read the scripture, read it for yourself. And I want you to be blessed. I want you to always be blessed. And I pray that you enjoy the rest of your evening. I pray that you enjoy the rest of your week. And if you have the opportunity to go to church, I want you to know that you look good just as you are. And that as long as you have these scriptures in your heart and you know what Jesus did for you, what he went through for you, that's all that matters. Nothing on the outside matters. And as always, you pray for me, and I've already prayed for you. Be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one.